Want to know how much stamp duty land tax you're going to be paying on your next property purchase? Well, why not use our free tax calculator to find out how much you will need to pay HMRC. So as the intro suggested, this is a tax calculating spreadsheet for you, which you can download by using the URL just below this video and start to work out how much Sdlt you are going to pay HMRC on your next property purchase. Before we get into the tax calculating spreadsheet for Sdlt, which again you can download using the link below this video, I want to kind of give you some ideas of how you can save stamp duty land tax. And the first video that's appearing above my head right now is how to avoid the 3% Sdlt surcharge, which you are likely to be paying as a property investor, especially if you already have a property in your own name. You may be interested to find out how to reduce Sdlt when buying a second home or a buy-to-let property investment, and that video link is now appearing above my head as well. The third video that I think you should be watching is how to reduce stamp duty land tax using multiple dwellings relief. This is where you have more than one property purchase in the same transaction or with the same seller at different time zones. So you can look at reducing Sdlt using MDR. So it's worth watching that video. Again, the link is appearing above my head. There may be stamp duty land tax benefits of being a property developer as well. Again, that video is appearing just above my head as I speak. So as the spreadsheet says, you can read the assumptions, purpose, and the disclaimer at your leisure. I'm not going to bore you with those details right now, but ultimately this spreadsheet is all about calculating your stamp duty land tax liability on your next property investment. There is the video link. You should be already watching this video, so you don't need to press that again, but just in case, we can put the details, enter the details into the blue shaded areas, and the blank cells are just read only. They are formula based. So what you're going to do is put in your purchase price. That's as simple as it gets. So let's imagine that we put a property price value of £350,000. You would just simply plonk that number into there. We do have different types of properties and different rates of Sdlt depending on the properties itself. You can use the drop down list box to choose residential, which is normally a buy-to-let property with ASTs, homes basically, and then non-residential or mixed use. So if you've got properties that have got a shop or an office attached to the flat, then that'd be mixed use properties and you don't have to pay the residential rates. And indeed, if you're buying a holiday let and it's got the use class correctly coded, then again, Sdlt may be reduced on that as well. But we're going to leave it as residential for now. Now we're going to say, is this second residential property a second purchase? We're going to enter yes for this because we're a buy-to-let property investor. Typically, you will have a home at least, or indeed one property in your own name. Or finally, you may be buying in a limited company, in which case the 3% Sdlt is going to be applicable anyway. And what we're going to do is the MDR. Now, if you're buying multiple properties, this is really useful for this. So what we're going to do is change this. So we're going to put in the property purchase price. Let's say that we buy 4 properties for £1 million. So we're going to do that. So it's £250,000 per property. And what we'll do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there you go, 1 million. And what we're going to say is, are you an individual buying the properties? Yes, we are. We can use the drop down list box if we say no, it's a limited company. How many units are involved? So enter 4 in this example, but you need to change that for you. And it gives you the average value, just as a check to make sure we haven't really screwed up anything there. And is this a lease with less than 21 years remaining? I'm just going to put in no. So I'm just going to put in no for that. And are the units within the same ground or block? We're going to say no for that. And what this will do now is calculate the Sdlt on different rates. So we've got the normal banded rates between rows 23 and 26. We've got the 3% Sdlt charge, which you can see there is £30,000. We've got the normal residential rate, banded rates now, on addition to the 3% surcharge, and that's 43,000. So giving a total of £73,750 or buy-to-let property investment. So we're going to put in £350,000 and we're going to just put in one unit, which I've now done. And then that's going to give me the value now of £350,000, which I've put in the top. So as a check. And it's going to give me the banded rate. So MDR is not applicable. Obviously, we're going to ignore that. But the summary details now of the Sdlt 3% surcharge is 10,500 and then the 7,500. Now, let's imagine if you are buying a property which has got a shop or an office attached to your flat. Now, that is mixed use. So you do need to check your solicitor understands the property that you are buying to ensure that the correct Sdlt rates are being charged. So what you're going to do here is change this from residential. So even though it's got a flat, you are buying mixed use. So typically a pub is another good example. So here we're going to have non-residential or mixed use. And what you should see now is that the Sdlt has now dropped significantly because of that one simple change. So you can see how useful this spreadsheet can be to validate the Sdlt charge that the solicitors have calculated. We built this because solicitors were making mistakes on the conveyancing process and overcharging Sdlt to our clients. So we wanted to have a check against their work and make any claim back in the future, which we have done successfully for many, many of our clients. So hopefully this is useful. Best of luck with it, and hopefully you'll get some Sdlt savings along the way. My name is Simon Misiewicz, and hopefully this spreadsheet's been useful. See you again in the next video. So I hope the presentation and video was useful and you got a lot out of it. Now, you may want a property tax specialist to help you in the future. And if so, you can book to discuss our services using the link www.optimiseaccountants.co.uk, and you'll get the opportunity to speak with Jan Minty, our Business Development Manager, who will talk to you about our services. If you want a tax advice and call to discuss this subject or indeed any other subject at all, then why not book a tax consultation with me? You can do so using the link again, www.optimiseaccountants.co.uk. So the process of the tax solution will be that you can upload your documents online. I will be able to read those for about 60 minutes and identify the very best solution for you. We will then spend 60 minutes on the call just talking about the solution. There is no point talking about the pains and all the issues that you're currently facing. What you want is a solution, and as quickly as possible. And that's why I do my research before the call takes place. And then after the call, after the 60-minute conversation, I will then go away, do further research, and I will then give you the documents and any spreadsheet templates that I have that will be helpful for you. My name is Simon Misiewicz from Optimise Accountants. I'll see you again soon.